Let's move on. Since we were talking about manufacturing companies, the consumer durable space, let's get Blue Star on board. Their Q1 earnings were largely in line with street expectations. The growth is coming in from the EMP segment on both the revenue and the margin front. However, in the AC segment, which is the Unitary products segment, that over there the margins have contracted. So Veer Advani, who's the Vice Chairman and Managing Director at Blue Star, joins us now to talk about that. There's also some fundraising approval that they've gotten, so we'll chat more about that. Veer, thanks a lot for joining in. Good morning. Can you first start by telling us about this fundraising plan? There is a fundraising of up to 1,000 crores that the board has approved. So how much are you looking to raise and how many tranches and by when?
So good morning, Sonia. Thanks for having us. So this is part of a longer-term plan that we've been talking to you about over the last maybe 6 quarters, that there's a structural change in our industry. Of course, PLI was announced for the industry. We ourselves have been seeing a big shift to Indian manufacturing, so replacement of import, which has been a priority of the government and the priority of the company. So in anticipation of the growth that we expect in our industry, we've been making our 5-year plans, capital investment plans. And as part of that, we find that it is prudent for us to raise up to 1,000 crores of equity right now. Of course, as we look forward, part of the investments will be funded with some debt, but we're just looking to strengthen the balance sheet and prepare ourselves for what we believe is going to be a golden period for the air conditioning industry. So specifically...
Yes, you have debt of 400 crores on your books. So will any of the funds that you raised be used to sort of reduce that debt? And what else would you be using the funds for?
So actually, as of this quarter ended, we had about 600 plus crores of debt, gross debt. Net debt, of course, was about 283 crores. We've kept some cash on hand. Of course, as we raise this money, part of it will go to retire some of this debt. And of course, more of it will go into investment in our Sri City plant, which is we already commissioned phase 1. Phase 2 is being commissioned by March of 2024. And then we have a phase 3 that is planned as well. So it's a combination of retirement of debt as well as funding for growth.
All right. Hi, Mr. Advani. Good to have you on the show. For your Unitary cooling products business, out there, the growth has been around 7%. Now, some part of the street was expecting a bigger number. Could you tell us this growth was on account of volumes, on pricing? What was it? So break that up for us. And also, it seems you've grown a little bit slower than in comparison to some of your peers who have already given numbers, case in point being a Lloyd. Have you lost market share or do you continue to maintain your market share?
Sure. So, I'll step back and talk about the industry. I think Jan to June, which is the full summer season, if you look at it, it's been a flat growth for the industry. That we had a washed out summer. That, of course, has set back the entire industry. Blue Star has actually maintained market share. We took a position that we do not want to get overly aggressive on pricing and impact our margins in a rush to acquire market share in this period, especially when demand was tepid because of the weather. Certainly, some of our competitors may have acquired market share, and that's their strategy. Ours continues to be profitable growth. We are at 13.5% market share even as of Q1. You did mention a 6% growth in revenue. We were able to, of course, compared to Q1 of last year, operating margin has dropped slightly from 8.1% to 7.5%. But I think you'll agree that a 7.5% operating margin in this tough quarter is commendable. And the way we've been able to do it, as part of our longer term strategy of taking out cost out of our products, making them far more competitive, a combination of R&D, manufacturing, supply chain, I think it's all come together. Frankly, we're quite happy with the performance in Q1, given the market conditions in the Unitary products business.
Right. Got that. You said, you mentioned what you believe will be the golden period for air conditioning segment in India. And I think a lot of the other AC players also believe that. But the problem that creates is, there's a lot of capacity coming up in the space, a lot of competition, at least in the foreseeable future. So just comment on that. I mean, what will that mean for profitability or ability to raise prices?
Sure. So first of all, when I speak about this golden age, I actually talk about the entire industry. So I'm looking at everything from unitary products to commercial air conditioning equipment and, of course, commercial refrigeration. So the entire portfolio that we address. Of course, there's going to be increased competition, no doubt about it. There's a lot of capacity coming online. But I think we have been able to navigate these challenges in the past. And I think we're very confident that we're going to be able to navigate the next 5 years from a profitability point of view. Frankly, if you ask me, the outlook for whether it is a room air conditioner, a deep freezer, a VRF, or a chiller, some of these key products that we have, the outlook for the next several years is extremely positive. Challenge is going to be on margins, which is why we've been working on a total cost management program for the last 2 years. Results are showing, even like I mentioned, if you look at segment one, this year,
Yes.
we grew 19%, which was good. More importantly, operating margins have expanded from 5.7% to 7%.
Yes.
These are certainly sustainable. And in fact, we think that there's opportunity to grow them further. So I think as far as Blue Star is concerned, we're looking at margin expansion as we grow. Part of it is volume related. Part of it is our own total cost management efficiency that we're driving through the system.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Advani, very quickly before we let you go, on this base of around 8,000 crores of last year, what kind of a revenue growth are you looking at? And you said margins could improve a little bit. So for the year, on the whole, it'll be closer around 8%?
So I think we're looking at double-digit growth this year. No reason why it should happen. And margins will improve in all three segments. So we're optimistic for the year.
Okay, optimistic for the year, Mr. Advani. Thanks a lot for joining in. Appreciate your thoughts here on CNBC TV18. That's Blue Star.